friends, this is Mr. Vipul Somsare. Once again welcome you in our new video lecture. Today we are going to see a topic related to the pharmacognosy, that is microscopy of ephedra stem. So we will see the synonym, source, then chemical constituent uses of ephedra, as well as the powder microscopy, transverse section of the ephedra stem, then some chemical test and microchemical test of ephedra. So this ephedra is also known as ma huang. These are the dried stems of two different species of ephedra, that is ephedra gerardiana and ephedra nebrodensis, belonging to family Gnetaceae or also known as Ephedraceae. This is the important biological source and family of ephedra. Just see the chemical constituent. The major chemical constituent in ephedra is alkaloids, that is contains 0.5 to 2% of total alkaloids in stem. The major alkaloid is ephedrine, and this ephedrine is about 30 to 90% of total alkaloid in ephedra. Just see the structure of ephedrine. Here you can notice the one important thing. Here the heterocyclic ring is absent. We have studied that alkaloids contain the one or more heteroatoms as well as heterocyclic ring, but this is the only alkaloid which do not have the heterocyclic ring in their structure, right. So this is the proto-amino type of alkaloid. So the ephedrine is a proto-amino type of alkaloid where the heterocyclic ring is absent. The other example of proto-amino type of alkaloid is colchicine, which is obtained from Colchicum autumnale. So here two different alkaloids, that is ephedrine and colchicine, which are the proto-amino type of alkaloids where the heterocyclic ring is absent. They contain nitrogen but not in heterocyclic ring. Other important thing, this ephedrine is synthesized from amino acid phenylalanine. So phenylalanine is a precursor amino acid used for the synthesis of ephedrine. This is again important point as per the GPAT. Just see the transverse section of ephedra stem. So here you can see the transverse section of ephedra stem. So this transverse section shows the presence of outermost layer, that is epidermis. The outermost layer of stem, ephedra stem, outermost layer you can see, easily understand. So this outermost layer is epidermis. So this epidermis is a single layer, contain quadrangular cells with thick and smooth cuticles. Most important thing, this epidermis is a single layer, quadrangular cells layer contain the thick as well as smooth cuticles. Below the epidermis, the next important layer, that is cortex. Here you can see the cortex layer. So this cortex contains the many layers of thin wall cellulosic parenchyma. Here you can see the many layers of thin wall cellulosic parenchyma, and this resides just below the epidermis. Here you can see this is the epidermis, the outermost layer, and below the epidermis the cortex layer is there, which is the many layers of thin wall cellulosic parenchyma. Now in cortex layer contains the unlignified fibers. These unlignified fibers, here you can see, they look like a bunch of grapes. Next, also contain the lignified fibers in the ephedra. So ephedra contain both types of fiber, unlignified as well as lignified fibers. So these lignified fibers are isolated, most important thing. So unlignified fibers look like a bunch of grapes. These are the conjugated fibers, they are occur in the group, whereas lignified fibers, these are isolated fibers, right. Next, other fibers, that type of fiber, that is pericyclic fibers. These pericyclic fibers are also lignified fibers, and these are the crown of the phloem. So, these pericyclic fibers are crown of the phloem, which are reside on the top of phloem. Here you can see this is the phloem. On the top of phloem, the pericyclic fibers are there. So, these pericyclic fibers are known as crown of phloem, and these are the lignified one. The phloem fibers contain the sieve tube here, and xylem contains the tracheids, and these are the well developed vessels, that is xylem vessels. Next, other important thing, that is central layer, that is pits. So, these pits are the large thin wall lignified polygonal parenchymatous cells. Pits are the large thin wall lignified polygonal parenchymatous cell which resides at the center. Here you can see these are the pits which are the lignified one. So, this is up to the transverse section, that is microscopy of ephedra stem. Here you can remember the outermost layer is epidermis, which is single layer quadrangular cells. Then this epidermis contain, below the epidermis, that is cortex layer, which consists of many layers, contain the unlignified fibers which look like a bunch of grapes. Also contain the lignified fibers which are isolated one. Then pericyclic fibers, these are also lignified fibers which are known as crown of phloem, which because these pericyclic fibers reside on a top of phloem, right. Then contain phloem, xylem, and last one is the pits, which is the central layer. So, this is up to the microscopy of ephedra stem. Just see the powder microscopy. The powder of ephedra shows the 5 important characteristics. So, first is epidermis. This epidermis, as I told earlier, this is the outermost layer. So, fragment of epidermis are visible in ephedra powder, which are the quadrangular cells. Here this is a general representation of epidermis, quadrangular cells with outer rigid wall. Here you can see the rigid outer wall. Next, the fibers, both types of fibers, as I told earlier, lignified as well as non-lignified. These fibers are long and cylindrical fibers, you can see here. Then xylem is also visible. This xylem is bordered pits with tracheids, tracheids with border pits. Here you can see the bordered pits with tracheids. And last one is the brownish matter. So, dark brownish matter is also visible in ephedra powder. These are basically mucilaginous substances derived from pits, that is brownish matter. Here you can see. So, these are important powder microscopic characteristics of ephedra. Just see the microchemical test, only one, that is in presence of fluoroglucinol and concentrated HCl, the lignified pericyclic fibers, then scleral chymatous cells of pericyclic fibers and xylem vessels shows the pink color in presence of this fluoroglucinol and concentrated HCl. Then the chemical test, as we discussed earlier, it contains the alkaloid as a major chemical constituent. So, general chemical test for alkaloids like Mayer's test, Hager's test, Dragendorf's test, Wagner's test, these all are useful for the identification of alkaloids in ephedra stem.